Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. 2 RCMP officers are in hospital in serious condition and a man is in custody after a shooting in Melville. Around 9:30 last night, RCMP responded to a report of an assault at a home on 8th Avenue West. As the 2 RCMP members arrived, a man at the residence shot at them, striking both officers. The 2 injured officers were taken to hospital in Regina. Around 2 o'clock this morning, the man left the residence with another occupant. Both were arrested, although the other occupant was later released. Charges have not yet been laid as RCMP continue to investigate.
This incident is a stark reminder of the danger police officers face every day. It highlights how unpredictable the work can be, and I'm proud of the professionalism and courage shown by all of our members last night. They continue to step forward to keep others safe despite knowing the risks. What started off as a report of an assault, something we attend to routinely, ended as a potentially life-changing call for 2 of our officers.
We will have more on this tonight at 6 o'clock. A 33-year-old man was hospitalized after a shooting this morning. Prince Albert Police Service responded to a report of a loud bang consistent with a gunshot at 4:30 this morning in the 1000 block of 17th Street West. Shortly after, a 33-year-old man arrived at Victoria Hospital with a gunshot injury. No arrests have been made and police are asking for tips or surveillance footage from the area. Another firearms incident, this time on Sunday morning on 2nd Avenue West. Prince Albert police were called to a business in the 2600 block of 2nd Avenue West around 11 a.m. Sunday. Officers noticed damage to the building consistent with bullet holes. Surveillance footage shows multiple shots being fired and a black SUV driving away from the scene. Anyone with information or surveillance footage is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. The Saskatoon Fire Department has spent the last 2 days searching for a missing individual who entered the weir in the South Saskatchewan River over the weekend. The person entered the weir while riding a jet ski shortly before 5 o'clock on Saturday. After fire crews attempted a rescue with specialized equipment, the rescue efforts transitioned to a recovery mission. The jet ski has been recovered and turned over to Saskatoon police. Meanwhile, 2 watercrafts have been dispatched to search the shoreline and the river south of the weir using sonar, and the public has been asked to avoid the area. Well, Jeff, some more active weather going on the prairies. A little bit of lightning last night, and I think some swirling winds today.
Swirling winds today. We've certainly had reports of funnel clouds. Nothing has been confirmed as of yet. Of course, a funnel cloud isn't a tornado until it touches down. So certainly what looks like funnel clouds, and we'll talk about that more at 6 as well. But keeping our eye on this low pressure center, you can see that, so it's very vigorous sort of counterclockwise rotation around that low. That low continues to march over to the eastern side of our province into Manitoba. Eventually some high pressure is going to be building in, but we still have maybe some isolated showers that could be happening tonight, and we'll talk more about that later on.
A new agreement between the province's online school and Saskatchewan Polytechnic is looking to get more students working toward a post-secondary education. A new 5-year deal signed on Monday will give high school students a chance to complete classes online that are required for the programs they may enter in post-secondary. The Distance Learning Center will work with Sask Poly to align programs and help students complete prerequisites that may not have been offered at their home schools. And with many skilled trades already facing a labor shortage, the province says this is one way to get people into the workforce sooner.
The sooner we can introduce students to that potential, to those opportunities, the better informed they are to make those career choices. We can't afford, to have them decide they want to do something and maybe be at the wrong choice. They waste a few years before they finally decide what they want to get into. We need people immediately.
Sask Poly and the province will target expansion in high-demand areas like healthcare, building trades, and welding as part of the deal. The province is waiting to read the fine print attached to new federal funding for $10 a day childcare before getting too excited. On Friday, the federal government said it would distribute $5.4 billion over the next 2 years to support $10 a day childcare across the country. This morning, Education Minister Everett Hindley says more money was necessary to keep $10 a day childcare viable long term. But he's not sure what Saskatchewan's portion of the funding will be or how it will impact families just yet.
We're close to hitting our space creation target as per the original parameters of the first agreement, but there are some significant challenges in keeping this program sustainable without significant dollars. So we'll see what that money actually means for Saskatchewan.
Despite the additional funding, Hindley says the province is moving ahead with changes to the $10 a day childcare. Starting on Canada Day, the province will cover childcare costs for every licensed space instead of every child enrolled. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency's vice president has stepped down following a critical review of last year's wildfire season. Steve Roberts will retire at the end of the month after more than 20 years with the organization. A statement released by the SPSA thanks Roberts for his work with the organization and says a search for his replacement will begin immediately. News of Roberts' retirement follows calls for SPSA leadership to resign after the review of the 2025 wildfire season found the organization was not prepared and that there was a lack of communication between individuals and communities. Roberts' replacement is expected to help carry out the 11 recommendations in the wildfire report. The site planned for Saskatoon's new downtown arena could become an urban reserve. City administration is suggesting Saskatoon explore a partnership with Muskeg Lake Cree Nation. An urban reserve is land purchased by a First Nation that is granted reserve status by the federal government. Once designated, the First Nation assumes jurisdiction over the land and city bylaws no longer apply. City administration says a partnership with Muskeg Lake would be a significant opportunity to advance the downtown event and entertainment district. Mayor Cynthia Block says City Council is not being asked to approve an urban reserve, but rather to allow negotiations to begin to see what might be possible.
This is the next step, and it could be a mighty one.
The potential partnership with Muskeg Lake Cree Nation comes after the city rejected a deal with an American-based venue operator, leaving a major funding gap for the project. The first batch of strychnine deliveries are being made in Saskatchewan as growers try to control gopher populations. Eligible producers who have completed mandatory online training and met other requirements can buy strychnine from participating RM offices. Supplies are limited and the next recommended application window is mid-July through to the end of September. Areas in Saskatchewan and Alberta were granted exemptions on the federal ban imposed earlier this year. And a programming note to announce, tomorrow there will be no Prince Albert news at 5 or news at 6 as CTV is broadcasting the World Cup game between Croatia and Panama. The game in Toronto starts at 5 o'clock Saskatchewan time. We will have a newscast on our website, ctvnews.ca/Saskatoon at 6 o'clock. When we come back, a significant increase in calls to the River Valley Resilience Retreat. Jasmine Pelche finds out why so many veterans and first responders are inquiring.
The River Valley Resilience Retreat for first responders and public safety personnel reported about 4,000 individual interactions from spring 2025 to spring 2026. Executive Director Jeff Reeder has been able to answer some of our questions about these numbers. So the retreat saw an increase of about 50% in terms of interactions over the last year. Jeff, would you say that's typical year-to-year growth?
Yeah, since we started at our new location, we've seen significant growth year over year. That's, partly because of words getting out that we're here as a resource and, through multiple forms of communication, whether it be Facebook, email, text, phone calls, website, like people are finding us and they're reaching out more frequently.
Is the increase related to an increase in demand or to growing publicity? What do you hear from guests?
A little bit of both. So, throughout all of the professions, there's been a huge increase in demand for services. Like when you're looking at police, EMS, fire, that type of thing, you know, like the call volume has significantly increased year over year. So there's a increased exposure to trauma on a daily basis for frontline staff. So they're being more self-aware of, you know, symptom management that is developing out of that and being more proactive in reaching out for supports. You know, we're not that far out of Prince Albert, 25 minutes. So just to kind of have a safe place to go, change your environment, you know, be in that nature setting and have access to peers that understand, you know, what you may be going through. They can kind of reset and have limited distractions while they are out here. We're seeing a lot of people benefit from that.
Is there anything underway to accommodate this increase in interactions?
Yeah, so we're always looking at increasing our facilities, like our, you know, washroom capacity, going from a temporary trailer type of solution to a more permanent structure is one of our capital projects that we're working on to be able to accommodate people better 365 days a year. And then bringing in support staff too, like if we have people staying overnight, that we need people on site to be able to, you know, be in the house at all hours of the day type thing. So we are looking at expanding the resources that we have here staff wise. And then we also have a new device, a shift wave chair, therapeutic chair that we have. People have been increasing the use on that too. So anytime they come to stay, they have that as another resource for them to be able to get that recovery as well.
What sort of geographic area do you have visitors coming in from?
All over Saskatchewan, like all the major centers. People are, you know, as far as Regina, I guess, and south, and some of our northern communities. We are kind of centrally located in the province. So, you know, and even inter-province too, like people are, if they're coming through Saskatchewan heading east or west.
What point is it important for people to understand about seeing an increase in visitations like this?
Well, I think it needs to be normalized for people to reach out sooner. Like we know trauma affects the brain in different ways that physical injuries do. And, you know, doing nothing could result in a more permanent injury that takes longer to recover from. So if people are more proactive throughout their careers to reach out for early intervention resources, we can help them stay healthy and have a long, healthy career.
Does the Resilience Retreat have any upcoming events?
Our next big event is June 26th in partnership with Lakeland Ford. So it's a test drive event at Lakeland Ford, and they're giving $30 for each test drive back to directly to the retreat. So we encourage people to come out. There's going to be a barbecue on hand. We'll all be there for, you know, question and answers. If people, you know, want to learn more about what we do and how we help people, we're there all day to answer any questions. Our website, is rvrrsk.ca. And then we're looking at another event planning for September. So, and we're doing also a canoeing excursion for, you know, public safety personnel and veterans out on the Churchill River in August. So we're looking for people to attend that, and if they're looking for ways to recharge and reconnect with nature, that's another great resource that we have coming up.
All right, thank you for talking with me.
After these messages, Jeff has the weather forecast, plus a closer look at the experiences of Canadians living with Down syndrome. All right, Jeff, now that it's officially summer, anything other than summer-like weather, we have somebody to blame. So what do we have coming this week?
Well, a warm-up, and it will seem more summer-ish. But it's not like we're getting into a heat wave or a really hot pattern. It's going to be up and down again. But right now, we're going to deal with this nasty low that is slowly, I mean slowly, making its way through Saskatchewan, ultimately into Manitoba, and bringing with some isolated showers. And they don't need any more rain in southern Manitoba at all. We need the rain out in BC, and that that may not be showing up, and I say may not be showing up until later in the week. Right now, we do anticipate some cooler temperatures and cloud cover for the interior, but we're fingers crossed for some rain for BC where they really need it. But this is going to move out of the area, and things are actually going to start to warm up a little bit for the next few days. So our future cast, you can sort of see that bullseye of the active weather sliding into Manitoba, as I mentioned. On the backhand side of it, though, still some isolated showers. So Saskatchewan is not going to go without any kind of, it's not going to be dry top to bottom, side to side in Saskatchewan as we make our way into tomorrow. So overnight, still a chance of some showers in Spirit Wood. That's tapering off in the evening hours. The same for the Battlefords, 9 degrees for an overnight low for the Battlefords, 10 for Candle Lake, 11 for Birch Hills and Rostern and Nipawin and Melfort. And as I mentioned, the rain showers are slowly tapering off as we make our way into tomorrow. And, you know, there's still a risk of a thunderstorm in many of these locations. So into tomorrow, Spirit Wood, mainly cloudy skies, 20 degrees, mainly cloudy, and 21 for the Battlefords. A similar situation for Rostern. We're looking at a chance of some showers tomorrow, 20 degrees for Birch Hills, 21 with mainly cloudy skies in Candle Lake. A similar situation for Nipawin, hitting 21 degrees tomorrow. And Melfort, we're expecting some showers, but don't expect them to be the day-long showers. 19 degrees tomorrow in Melfort. And, yeah, there you go. So here we go with our situation for the Gateway City. 11 degrees overnight, partly cloudy conditions, a risk of a thunderstorm, and then the winds back off as well. As we roll into Tuesday, 21 degrees. That's still a little bit below seasonal, but still it's on the warm side of 20. Mainly cloudy skies, the wind shifting around a little bit, so by the time we get to mid-afternoon, winds should be out of the south, and that tends to be a warmer flow of air, and that looks like it's going to be manifesting itself as some warmer temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday. Look at that, 23 on Wednesday, 24 on Thursday, staying mainly sunny on Friday, and 26 degrees. Expecting some clouds on Saturday, 24 degrees, and right now the forecast is for about a 60% chance of showers on Sunday and Monday, and temperatures on the low 20s. So that's how things are shaping up for Prince Albert area over the next 7 days.
And Jeff, you might like this. I think when on Saturday I was making my way eastward into Saskatchewan, I think we were hit by that lightning storm on the Saturday in Alberta, and I think the same one hit us on Sunday. So
wow,
double duty from that storm.
No kidding, huh?
So,
yeah.
There you go. Hey, Jeff, the Regina Pats have named David Bell their next head coach, the 44th in team history. Bell spent 7 seasons with the Belleville Senators of the American Hockey League before parting ways earlier this year. He's returning to Major Junior for the first time since 2017 when he coached Niagara in the OHL. This will be his first stint working for a WHL team. Bell says he wants to meet with the hockey office first before choosing the rest of his staff.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
A new documentary is exploring the lives of Canadians living with Down syndrome. As Jeremy Sharon reports, the film is educating people about the different experiences of people living with the condition.
In this small Windsor restaurant, Ghanaian cuisine and culture is on full display. From savory pies to sweet treats, it's a family affair, and Jasmine Ankama is at the center of it all.
The sister. Your sister is here sometimes. Right? That she doesn't want anybody doing her job. It's her job. I go, we're a team. We're a team. We gotta help each other. Like, we're a team. Like, yeah, no, she really enjoys her job.
24-year-old Jazzy lives with Down syndrome and does not let that slow her down.
She likes to do things herself. She doesn't want help, you know, and she'll tell you right away, I'll do it myself. And she'll keep trying until she gets it. And that's what we do because, like, I'm going, okay, no special treatment here. Yeah, we're a big family, work full time. So we've always encouraged her to do things by herself. Who do you work with? Tessa, DJ, Mom,
Independence and inclusion is what Jazzy has always pushed for, and it's the message she's looking to share in a new documentary. Unified Voices follows Jazzy's story along with 5 other Canadians living with Down syndrome.
It's meant to maybe demystify any assumption that people might have that a diagnosis of Down syndrome plays out in life exactly the same way, right?
Filmmaker Moses Latigo Odida hopes to show that every person living with the genetic condition has their own story, shaped by culture, geography, race, language, and community.
To have a fairer view, to have a more realistic view of the complexity of a demographic of the population that they otherwise wouldn't, right? So it's an opportunity for education.
These individuals are part of their community. They have a rich life, and we wanted to showcase them.
A showcase on the big screen that here in Windsor has brought pride and joy.
It's beyond anything that we ever thought she was going to do.
And serves as an important reminder.
And all they need is love. And we all do. We all need love.
Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News.
All right, Jeff, you might have had to be at the south end of town, maybe by the Lakeland Co-op Center to hear it, but there were a sea of motorcycles on the streets of Saskatoon on the weekend. So tempted to do that myself, make the noise, Jeff, but I didn't. More than 250 bikes filled the parking lot of the Western Development Museum. It was part of the 18th annual Saskatoon Motorcycle Ride for Dad on Saturday. Riders drove through parts of the city before heading to Prince Albert and back. It's a chance to raise awareness and funds for prostate cancer research. Organizers say the ride has had a steady following since its inception and continues to grow each year.
It's a great group. Everybody's excited, energized to be here. We're all here for the same reason, and it's a very unique situation. People get behind a cause, rally for the cause, and the impact is amazing.
Jeff, since 2009, more than $2.1 million raised, and this year's event raised around $92,000. Would you be one of those sort of chopper guys if you had the bike, or would you have the more the street or the sport-looking bike?
I think I'd probably have to go with like the normal, good old little, old school Honda.
Yep, there you go. What's the one? I'm thinking of the one like Tom Cruise had it. It was a muscle bike, but it was a little bit stripped back and a little bit more kind of American muscle. That one for me.
That one for you.
Whatever
okay.
it was called.